Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toonami Tuesdays on Wednesdays on Cartoon Kilowatt. My name is Snipples.
And I'm T. Wales. This is my bad impression of Optimus Prime, because he's doing Soundwave.
I thought you were a wrestler at first.
I have no idea what you mean. Can you smell what the Prime is cooking?
Ribs.
Because I'm gonna roll out all over you.
Now, even on Toonami Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, we still gotta do our thing and talk about something that we love or hate. And let me tell you something. Man, I always want to talk about something I hate. Always, always. But I can never think of anything relevant. Ooh, pardon me. Because, it's like, I'm at this age where I just don't surround myself with stuff I hate. I don't.
Yeah.
Something I hate, I don't watch it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I don't have a lot of stuff to hate.
Yep. I know, that's pretty much the same for me. It's like, there's very little stuff I hate because I don't look at stuff I know that I'm not gonna like.
Yeah. So let's talk about something I like. And it's something I was going to actually write about a little bit, but I decided to save it for here. Agent Carter. Man. One of the things I like about Agent Carter? It's pulp. Which is unusual. I think it might be the only pulp television show.
I think it's because of the time period that they're in, that it takes place in, so they can't, do what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does and throw technology and cyborg hands and aliens at you. Because this is before they're fully aware of all that stuff. This is the beginning. This is pre-everything.
Well, that makes it kind of refreshing.
Yeah, because it's setting the stage.
Because
even though the first season didn't really do much setting the stage.
It was sweeping up what was left of Captain America. So sweeping Captain America off the stage so that you can set the stage for what comes next. There is a thin line between superheroes and pulps. And I have this thing, with RPGs. Like, I respect RPGs a lot. I raised myself on RPGs.
Pretty much, yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
That's what got me into video games. Legend of Zelda count? No.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, Link to the Past was like my very first video game.
It's complicated.
But it's like, when I first saw Final Fantasy IX at a friend's house, and the depth and the story of it, it's like, this is good. So it got me, hardcore into video games.
I mean, it's not why I started playing video games, but it's definitely why I kept playing video games.
Why you keep playing video games.
I keep playing video games for a lot of reasons. One of the things I always hated was when someone called a video game an RPG just because it had RPG elements. Just because you level up, it's an RPG.
Castlevania.
Even though you don't talk to anybody. Even though you're not
RPG element
putting yourself in the name of the character. I mean, there was a huge period in time, mostly in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, where basically anything with an RPG element was considered an RPG automatically. That same thing is happening with superheroes. everything's a superhero movie, even if it's not a superhero
Or if
movie.
something's a superhero show, even if there are no superheroes.
Yeah, it's like, there's a villain and there's a hero. Obviously, it's based on superheroes. Not necessarily.
Well, thing about Agent Carter and Agents of Shield as well is that they're in worlds that have superheroes, but the one you're
Yeah.
looking at aren't the superheroes. You're looking at, but I don't know, like they're not even.
Well, I think Agents of Shield has crossed over
Yeah, it's
to
cross.
the superhero side at this point.
Well, not too much. They have superheroes because they're like laying the groundwork for the.
Quake has powers, doesn't she?
Yeah. She has powers. She doesn't know how to use them too well. And they do have people with powers, so I guess you can say they have gotten to the realm of superheroes, but they're still secret agents.
All right.
So they're not street level heroes like Daredevil was. They're more like background heroes.
Well, I mean, that makes it, again, really hard to define because
Yeah,
you got Captain America,
and then you got
and all he does is espionage,
and
but
then
he's a superhero.
yeah, then you got Agent Carter, the show you're talking about, and that's I don't want to say before the superheroes because we don't know what they're going to do with this universe, but
Yeah.
the they aren't aware of superheroes. There aren't superpowered people aren't generally known.
Yeah. And you take something like, I don't know if you've seen Chronicle.
I've seen Chronicle.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's a superhero movie.
It's a
I mean,
found footage
yeah,
movie.
they have powers, but
It's a found footage movie.
come on. You know, like I mentioned before, if RoboCop came out today, people would say it's a superhero movie. And I really wouldn't agree to that. But the lines are pretty thin all around. Um, like the difference between Doc Savage and Captain America is the costume. That's pretty much it. I mean, the only major difference, I believe, is what you're focusing on. And
Wow,
that
Doc Savage.
Pulp is always action adventure. It's action adventure mystery based. Well, superhero stuff, that's about the confrontation. That's about the action and the melodrama. So, I like Agent Carter. I was about to call her Detective Carter.
Well, she is doing detective work.
Yeah, I really like
And a
Agent
woman.
Carter.
She's a woman.
Well, that you bring up another point. I really like Agent Carter for her pulp elements and for introducing a pulp-esque view of the Marvel universe. She is a woman,
At a time where women had no, not too many rights.
and there are a lot of female empowerment shows. There are a lot of female empowerment
Jessica Jones.
superheroes that, if I were to go back to The Mask, are don't work as well for me because they're super pandering. This feels natural,
Yeah,
you know? It feels right.
doesn't feel like it's shoving it in your face.
It's not something to be shoved in your face is the problem. If you have a female hero, she should just be a female hero and competent in her own right. It's not something that should be, oh, look at her. She's a female hero. She's strong and she's a good role
Now,
model. Everybody love
our
her.
thoughts might be controversial in some circles.
It might be, but isn't that what equality is? I mean, I'm not saying things should be perfect, but me personally, you know, there's a reason I like Kim Possible and hate Totally Spies.
Kim Possible's good. Totally Spy is Canadian.
You know,
It's Canadian. That's all I got for it. Yeah, I didn't
you know,
really like it. I saw it some mornings and I was like, this shows exists. It's like Martin Mystery. It's like, okay, this is a show that's existing, but it could be better.
in Kim Possible, she was a badass secret agent, but they never said,
Team.
"Oh, but she's such a tough female girl. Look at she's tough, but she's so girly." You know, it wasn't that. She was just a regular
She
person
was a
who
cheerleader.
happened to be a girl.
Then they don't push it in your. They don't like tell it to you. You see it. She's a
Yeah,
cheerleader. She likes going to the mall, but she's also a secret agent.
and that's pretty much Agent Carter right there. She's got the kill factor.
They make me think of Totally
Except
Spies
for
and how they like
except for
really
one
shove it
thing.
in your face. Like we're girly, but we're also secret agents. And Kim Possible. When she goes on her mission, she's on a mission.
Yeah, and also, while I'm on this track, I don't like a lot of superhero shows, you know. I never liked Smallville. Live
I
action
I
superhero
didn't
shows.
like Smallville.
Uh, Arrow,
The
Flash.
entire time I was watching Smallville, I'm like, so when are you gonna be Superman? When are you gonna be Superman? You guys are kind of stretching this out kind of far. Everyone knows you're Superman by this point. You can't be Superman anymore. Everyone knows who you are. You
At
can't
the
be.
end,
You can't
at
be
the end of the
Mild.
series, there's a plot twist and he becomes Batman.
You can't be Mild Man or Clark Kent. You have teamed up with the Justice League. Flash, Cyborg, Green Arrow. They were all there with Teenage Superman, but no Teenage Batman.
Um, Agents of Shield. I know they said you need to give it time, but I watched like 4 episodes. I'm like, each episode is 1 hour long. I don't have enough time to give.
Season one.
Yeah, season one.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. Season one is like no, that's the setup. Things it's when they don't have Shield's backing anymore that it comes on its own. So
Post
season
Winter
two, which
Soldier.
is like post Cap 2, is when they like become more.
So yeah,
Can't rely on
I'm personally surprised that there's any live action quote unquote superhero, but actually pulp show
yeah,
that I like that's not on Netflix.
true.
Now, on a different but related note, Sharon Carter, Agent Carter's granddaughter, who ends up hooking up with Steve. I hope that she beats up Black Widow in the next movie. I just want to see that fight.
You
But and I don't care who wins,
just want to see a
but I
good
do.
fight.
But
You just want to see a
we
good.
haven't seen Sharon do a lot,
Yeah,
so I
I
want
mean,
her to come off as competent.
it's like, come on, your grandma was pretty confident. But then again, Black Widow is like specially trained, almost super soldier like person.
Well, so was Dottie.
Dottie was the friend of hers, right? That was like from that program.
She was one of the earlier Black Widows, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But she beat her. I forgot that.
Well, she put up a fight.
Yeah, she put up a fight, and that's essentially how I was gonna break down. She put up a fight.
Yeah, that rematch would have like legacy stuff. That'd be revenge through the generations. The people that have seen the pre-showing of Civil War have said it's better than Winter Soldier.
No, that's
So
tough to top out. I'm
exactly,
wondering,
let the hype
and
begin.
you know what? I'm just wondering. Okay, so how is this going to affect Agents of Shield? Because all the Cap movies affect it more than all the other.
But there's no more Shield.
In the background,
Yeah, in the background,
Shield is even more
super
aloof.
secret Shield.
Yeah, first you had Shield, then you had Shield remnants. Now you have secret Shield remnants. For all, yeah, I mean, they always like the movies always have some kind of effect.
Yeah, I forgot there was an Inhuman movie coming out
Yeah, well, I mean, they're
because they keep pushing all the other stuff
I know
up.
because the Inhumans advertisement is Agents of Shield.
Yeah, because I think Spider-Man's coming out way sooner than we thought it was
You
going
still
to.
haven't seen shit about Spider-Man in Cap 3.
They're saving him. They're saving him.
He's gonna show up at the last second. Just put a web,
Hey,
and then it's
hey,
like
Cap. Bye.
you're gonna see us like them talk about the guy in the red costume in New York, and you'll see a picture of him that Peter Parker took, and that's it. that's that's all you get from Spider. Look, he showed up.
Listen, Peter Parker is gonna be Spider-Man, but what they're gonna show is Miles Morales just as a regular kid, and that's it. You're not gonna see
Or you'll
the Spider-Man. You're going to see a possible Spider-Man.
Or you'll see Peter Parker just show up in a movie taking a picture of like something that's happening. That's your Spider-Man cameo because he's not Spider-Man yet.
Yeah, yeah. Taking a picture of Captain America and Bucky beating up Iron Man.
Just tag teaming.
He recorded that part of the trailer. Anyway, let's move on. Now,
Let's move on. Let's move
what
on.
comes after Thundercats in the Toonami lineup?
It is Voltron, Defender of the
Voltron.
Universe.
Gotta say, kind of disappointed.
You have no idea how disappointed I was because I watched this show. I watched this first beginning as a child one time because I watched it like in the middle and then this was the beginning was a rerun and early in the morning. And I'm like, oh, this is I'm trying to see how it starts out. I don't remember it being this bad.
Well, but
I
that's
forgot
we'll
about
get to some of the really bad issues, but that's the
I
thing about it.
forgot about the kid's voice.
Yeah,
this
across the board,
this
the audio is bad.
this is I understand why people said this is the first of Ridge series. When you hear those main character voices, you understand why this is the Ridge series.
I've never seen the beginning of Voltron. I was fortunate to only seen it in the middle somewhere,
Yeah,
so I only caught it at the quote unquote good parts.
yeah. Like I saw the later parts.
Since you mentioned it, let's just go into this before we start with the episode breakdown. Like I said, like he was saying, the audio is so bad. So
It's
so first the voice acting. We have Snarf. I don't even know
you
his
mean the
name.
kid?
I've been calling him Snarf this whole
The kid.
time.
Okay, we have our main protagonists: Keith, Pidge, Sven, Lance,
Okay, Pidge is Snarfer. Because I'm gonna call him Snarf for
and
the rest of this
Hunk.
episode. So just know that when I'm saying Snarf, I mean
Now,
Pidge.
here's the thing: Pidge and Hunk are their nicknames. They actually have their actual names. Like in the show, for Pidge, it's Daryl, and for Hunk, it's Tsuyoshi. He's Japanese. He's the only Japanese person of this entire crew that's actually Japanese.
But he looks ethnic. Like he looks
Yeah,
Hispanic.
I know. I know. That is what's the most confusing.
No, the most confusing is Vin's accent.
Oh, Sven? Yeah, I'm a
Yes,
Sven.
I don't
You can't
know
tell.
what it is.
I'm from Sweden.
Like
I'm
as
Norwegian.
soon as I heard it, it took me back.
He's Norwegian.
He does not sound Norwegian.
He's supposed to be Norwegian.
He sounds like a mixture between Indian, Chinese, Minnesota, and German. You just take all that stuff, smash it together. That's Finn's accent.
He is well. Here's the thing. Okay, in this original series, of the you see one, two, three, five main protagonists, they only had let's see, two, three voice actors.
They couldn't come up with better voices than that?
The let's see, Pidge. No, sorry, Sven is voiced by the same guy that does Lance, and Pidge is voiced by the same guy that does Keith.
As far as voice acting goes, so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
Well, you'll be happy to know that later on, like in the late parts of original Voltron, Billy West voiced Pidge.
Hmm. We gotta go find out what that sounds
I
like.
don't want to.
Uh, did you say I don't want to?
It's still
Yeah. Um,
these are just these people came from Transformers.
huh.
These voice actors that come from Transformers. A lot of them
Now,
came from Transformers.
voice acting aside, the
Spider
sound effects
Spider Man.
are bad.
They okay. I think the reason for this, a lot of this is because they had gotten the show, Beast King O Lion, and it's like we like this, we'll use this for our show. They just use their own music and sound effects. They didn't use the original Japanese sound effects. I don't think. I don't think they used original Japanese sound effects because they made their own music and their own story and everything. But they just went with their own stuff.
Listen, there's a scene in here where the robots are activating, and all of them are getting out of their little cave, and they're walking on completely different surfaces. One's walking on rock from a volcano, one's walking on sand, one's in the woods. All of them sound like somebody stomping on cardboard. Like all of them. Then they flip back to the army, the military that's attacking. They sound like they're stomping on cardboard. There's one sound for walking.
Yeah, yeah. This is don't forget. This is also like I think a '70s anime. Yeah, no, this is an early '80s anime. This is pre Zeta Gundam, which kind of changed the whole robot stuff.
The original Gundam changed the whole robot stuff.
Yeah, that it still wasn't as popular. This is during the time of.
How could you go into Zeta Gundam without seeing the original?
Okay, here's the thing. The original Gundam was not popular when it first came out. It became popular during the television rebroadcasts. It came later, which was around the time Go Lion came out.
Now I have idiom questions. But hey, let's hop off the mech train.
Yeah.
Because we will go there forever.
We are robot people. We like robots. Yeah, let's just get started on this episode 1. Space
now, the
Explorers
song,
Capture. Oh.
All they do is narrate.
Yeah, that's what they did in these shows. I'll show you the Japanese theme song after this.
And that's a shame because the Voltron theme is pretty iconic.
But they play it every episode. I don't mean like the theme song. I mean like they play it in the episode all the time, so it kind of listens type.
Well, they do, but they never play like it's like a snippet. They only play snippets.
Yeah, that's all they got. They don't have too many songs.
No, in the first episode, no, not even in the first episode. Even in the beginning of the opening, you will recognize the narrator because he's the same narrator that did the voiceover for Toonami before Tom took over.
It is Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was doing the Optimus Prime voice.
I didn't know he was also the de facto Toonami announcer.
Yeah.
Like he did those Dragon Ball Z promos.
That was Optimus Prime.
You know what? I've never seen what this man looks like. Whenever people talk about him, I assume he has a very thick mustache. Is that true?
Looks like the father from the Addams Family.
Oh.
Well, I sent you the picture, so you can see.
Disappointed. Let me see this. Let me stop everything to look at this. Well, he does have a very thick mustache in one picture.
Yeah.
I was half.
By the way, he's also Eeyore.
I think that's his true self. All right, so first episode, what they narrate basically just explains this is Star Trek with robots. That's what the impression I got.
Universal peace, good galaxies are good. Bad Emperor guy is causing evil far away. We need the help of this giant robot to fight them off.
Pretty much. Now it starts with King Zarkon. That's the bad guy. His attack on planet Aros or Aros?
Is that how it begins?
I don't know. Oh, that's how it begins. I thought you were talking about is that how it's pronounced?
I was trying to remember, like, is that how it began? I forget.
Yeah, that's how it begins. And then Keith is like, planet is being attacked, we have to step in. And that's when I was taken aback by Finn's voice. You don't see him when he talks either. You don't see a lot of the main characters when they talk at the very beginning.
That's because none of that was in the original Japanese broadcast. In the original broadcast that they're using this from, they were just random Earth people that were captured in space.
Okay. That would make a little more sense. Because you see, our heroes are explorers. Okay, and they decide to intervene into this war. That's not what explorers do. Explorers explore things. They proactively jumped into this battle to save the day. It's like
this group of
Lewis and Clark.
This group of
if they were superheroes.
This group of young people in various clothing are explorers. working for the Earth military. I will point out once again in the Japanese version, they were just a bunch of random people that were captured.
Yes. And these guys do get captured when they go down there. And then we are immediately introduced to the council.
Which is not from the original Japanese footage.
They say that the council is an alliance between all the other planets.
But you only see Earth.
All the other good planets. Yeah, I guess all the other good planets, they all look like people.
They all look like humans because that's why they're good.
And, you're gonna see the council footage a lot because they reuse the same animation. There's a British guy. They use the exact same animation for the British guy whenever he needs to say something.
I think that's from a different series. I think that's where they got from the vehicle Voltron part from. That's where the council's from, I believe.
Yeah. This is the first time really both reviewing and watching one of these chopped up anime series with the knowledge that it's a chopped up anime series.
They did better with
So
Robotech.
it's pretty new to me. Um,
They were trying to make an expansive universe.
can't blame them for that. So at the council, they explain the lines on Laris, and
A lot of questions are brought up later from this, and I'll get to that.
yeah, there's a lot of questions brought up now from this. Is that where lions come from? Are lions aliens from another planet? And
I
they just
want to
came
know.
here?
I want to know. How do they know about these lions? Were they not friends with Horus before? Did they not team up with Horus, or Horus not team up with them? Then when they got attacked, they're like, "Oh, just leave them be. Oh, they're destroyed. Now let's get their alliance to protect us." No, like it looks like they have like motivation just to protect themselves because they just let
And
Horus just be captured, as far as we know.
we will get further into this as well because Horus doesn't make any damn sense. Now, King Zarkon is sitting on his throne, and here's one thing I really do like is King Zarkon's design because it's based on a playing card. It's based on a king from a playing card.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that at first, but then when I noticed, I'm like, ah, I see what you did there. And he rules the entire galaxy now.
Well, he rules that galaxy.
Yeah, that entire galaxy. And he has an advisor, which is this person a witch?
Yeah,
Is it
she's
an
like
advisor? Is it a male? Is it a woman? Is it his wife? I don't
she
know.
is just a witch.
Is it Mumra?
No, she is a witch that works for him, does magic.
The magic is also questionable, but we will get to that probably in the third episode. No, you know what? We'll get to that in this episode. Alright, so all of the people are heroes, the explorers. That's all they call themselves, just space explorers. They're in a dungeon, they're trying to figure out how to get out. So Snarf jumps 6 feet high and to the barred window.
Which makes no sense because it's like, how did you do that, child?
Gravity. The gravity's ladder. That's what I'm
So
going to
any
assume.
one of them could have done it.
Yeah, but he's like a flea.
Oh,
He's the
I thought
flea.
we were talking about. I don't know how he did that voice.
I don't. I don't even.
Like he
I
has
don't even
something in his
think.
mouth when he's talking.
Do not want to think about it.
Ugh.
All right. So what the king wants to do, well, the space explorers are trying to figure out how to use Snarf's ability to get to that window to their advantage. The king has enslaved all the people he could, so that he can send them into gladiatorial battle.
Sure, why not? I mean, when you
And
rule this whole thing, I mean, who's gonna stop you?
yeah, yeah. And his main gladiator force are the Robies.
Now, they are called Robies
Yes.
in order to avoid them killing actual living creatures. But they got to have an explanation as to why they bleed.
Okay.
Or they
See.
have to no an explanation as to why they look organic. because they're
That
robot
that
beings.
answers that question.
That is the
That was a serious question for me.
this is in the
He
original.
keeps calling them robots. Like,
Like they
that's
remember, this is
not a
like an
robot.
American edit, so they have to edit out violence, so they can't show the fact that they're killing living monsters, even though
But they're
yeah,
monsters.
can't show that. So they got to be a robot.
I just want to mention that in Johnny Quest, they killed people
Yep.
all the time
Mm,
with guns.
yep. No, this uses swords. Can't have that.
Anyway, so they cut back to the space explorers, and there's this weird scene where they've been summoned to fight, but because they're asleep, they're pretending to be asleep. They're like, "Ah, they're asleep. I guess we have to make them fight tomorrow."
How nice of them.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, that's all it takes to save your life? Just pretend to be asleep? After the guards leave, Snarf climbs up to the window. He uses the rope that
Just
they were
call him
captured in.
Midge.
His name is Snarf now. He pulls, what was it, Hunk?
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah, pulls Hunk up with him so Hunk can break the
We call him
handle.
by his name that they have in there, which is still his Japanese name, Tsuyoshi. The only Japanese person in that crew. It doesn't even look Japanese.
Doesn't look anything like that.
Fucking Keith and Sven look more Japanese. Sven looks like he's wearing a Japanese like school
I thought
uniform.
Finn might have been some kind of martial artist, and that's why his
I
accent was
know,
all messed up.
right? But he's Norwegian. They picked the worst person, the worst accent. What's wrong with them?
But they climb down the rope before being saved by some alien vultures. Why did the alien vultures save them? Because. Because. Alright, so after that, they make a mad dash to the first ship they can find, a prison ship. And everyone's found out that they've escaped at this point. What they do is they get into the prison ship, and I do like this part. And they ram the prison ship into the castle during their escape, which is completely commendable. Because if that had killed King Zarkon, this whole thing would have been over. But I also like the whole "we've been hit by a bomb" thing. I kind of think that he would know better. You know, when a ship, like if a car rams into your house, the first thought isn't it must be a bomb, because there's a car inside of your house. Same thing with the giant spaceship, but you know what? It amused me, so I'll let it slide. Now, he sends out his minions to get the space explorers back. You know, he wants to use the space explorers as a I guess negotiation tool with the council. That's what I got from it. But then I don't know why he would send them into gladiatorial battle, because that would kill them, and then he'd have nothing to negotiate with. Uh,
Look, he doesn't care about negotiating in all honesty. He just wants to kill them.
well, again, this goes back to probably Americanization. The minions. Now, there's a chief minion. Never got his name,
Guy with the eye patch?
but he looks like a mammal. Like all of these villains are reptile people,
For
except this
this
one.
group, yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
for this group. Might be lower class.
maybe
Although he didn't have the ear things, did he?
he did, but then at the end they were covered in hair.
Okay.
They weren't like the kings, definitely,
Yeah.
but he had ear things. Anyway, he shoots down the prison ship, and they go flying. Wait, am I skipping to the second episode? Wait, let me back up.
You're talking about the guy
Shoots
with
down
the
the prison
eye,
ship
right?
with the eye patch.
Well, the robotic eye, right?
Oh, it wasn't an eye patch?
No.
I thought it was an eye patch.
It's red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a like monocle robot eye thing.
Oh,
Yeah. His name is Commander Yorak.
that guy,
Mm-hmm.
the commander. I'm just gonna call him the commander.
Oh yeah,
The
Commander.
commander shoots him
Commander works
down.
fine.
Yeah.
They get another commander later on, but who cares? We're not that far.
We definitely we don't. I'm just gonna say this now. We do not see Voltron
We see him
Okay,
in the
he
open.
is not in these first 3 episodes. We do not see
It was
Voltron in action.
yeah, it's like that in Go Lion. 2-3 episodes of nothing.
So Voltron is no, not Voltron. See, now I'm thinking about Voltron. The prison ship gets shot down. So this part they kind of go into a flashback. I mean, no, not at this part, but at some point they pretty much explain what Voltron is. That Voltron is like this legendary suit that has fought Zarkon's forces before, and until something happened to it.
Yeah, didn't they explain it what happened at this point with the flashback?
Not at this point.
Okay, you sure? Because they explain it twice.
Not, they don't explain the details of it,
No.
but they do explain it twice.
Are you sure? No, I remember Keith's talking about the witch pretended to be a goddess or something and tricked Voltron and split him into 5 pieces.
Well, I think this episode ends with the ship getting shot down, and the next one starts with them landing.
Okay, yeah, because they that all like blends together.
Yeah, that's why I got confused because I know this ends with them getting shot, and the commander thinks they're dead, but then they picks up like all of these are cliffhanger endings, and they pick up right after one another.
Like
It's very easy to merge.
these first 3, it's like takes 4 episodes for the series to actually start. And after that, it's Monster of the Week.
Why did they not stop Zarkon when Voltron was there fighting him?
Voltron.
Why did they just let Zarkon do?
I told you the Galaxy people like didn't bother to help them because they wanted Voltron to work for them.
And it's like, okay, Voltron's been knocked out of commission, right?
Right.
No one's still doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Zarkon's just running amok. How come he hasn't already taken over every galaxy since no one's trying to stop him?
I don't know, but I just found out Zarkon's the only one that works for someone else. He's below someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he's a king.
Well,
that doesn't make sense.
A king is below an emperor. There's an emperor. But see, that's neither here or there because that's an Americanization that's trying to combine Voltron with the Vehicle Voltron series, which is a different anime.
Ah. Anyway, after the ship explodes, there's just exposition and foreshadow.
Exposition, talking,
you know what?
Foreshadowing. Nothing really much.
This is it. You're right. It's between when they get shot in this episode and when they continue to be shot in the next episode.
Yeah.
That they talk about how Voltron was split into 5 lines. The witch pretended to be a goddess, and that attracted Voltron, or the people piloting it. They make it seem like Voltron had a mind of its own.
Do you want me to tell you what the Japanese version was? Because I had to look it up when I saw that. All right. The original Japanese version, Voltron, Go Lion, as he was called, he's made of 5 lions, was just going around beating people because he's a super-powered robot that no one can mess with. He's unstoppable. No one can stop him. So he challenged God, and God said no. But
wow.
He's like, you can't stop me.
So it did have a mind of its own.
It did have a mind of its own. It looks like he was fighting everybody, defeating. It was unstoppable, so it decided to fight God itself. And God is like, you have all this power. You're just being a big asshole. You should calm down. Oh, you're still trying to fight me? Fine then. You then hurls them till they fly around the galaxy for like 1,000 years. That's 5 separate pieces until they land on that planet.
That sounds like the most epic cartoon of all time.
That's just a setup.
But here's
that's what that scene is from. So I'm trying to go to that goddess. That's when Voltron tries to fight God.
Like here they make it seem like Voltron was one robot, then he was broken up into 5 robots.
In there.
And then those 5 robots make up one robot. Now, I know that sounds confusing, but work with me here. From the get-go, he looks like he's made up of 5 robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should look like one robot. He should look like he's made out of one robot, then was split into 5 robots that become one robot. That's just me. Before we get to the next episode, since I'm already on this point, what do you think about Voltron's mech design?
His design?
Yeah.
Very super robot-y. It's very like team looking because you have to have 5 people to pilot anyway, which is a common thing for super robots at that time. Like you want to have a team of people, which usually consists of the protagonist, the main guy, the kid, the big man, the Lance, which there's someone called Lance already, and the girl. What they have is Sven.
Huh.
Sven leaves. So that is like the main theme for a lot of stuff for these types of shows, but that's not about the robot. But the robot itself, its design isn't exactly practical, but I'm coming like from someone that likes super robots more than real robots. And with lion hands, lion face hands, all you can do is punch, bite, slap, and hold a sword. Or shoot what, or maybe like the hands shoot stuff. It is entirely designed around combat and fighting monsters. That's what it's meant to be. Its design is just to be, just looks cool. It's a lion. It's 5 lions, 5 lion heads. Oh, so cool, guys. And
No,
young me, before I started appreciating more robot mechanical designs, more practical robot mechanical designs, thought this is so cool. Now I'm looking back at it going, I like Gal Gaigar better.
Huh.
It also has a lion face, but it has hands and feet and drills on its knees to knee you with a drill.
Well, I ask because every other time I look at it, like sometimes I like it for the same reason you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's a robot made out of lions.
Yeah.
And there's just something cool about that in a very superficial way.
It's a very super robot way.
But like design wise, it looks. I don't like the wings
The back wing, yeah.
because
They
they
don't.
don't seem like they do
They
anything. They
don't.
don't even have like thrusters or anything.
It has no thrusters. It flies on belief and courage,
Like I don't know
like
why those
all
wings
super
are there.
robots.
But at the same time, if you take the wings away from it, it makes the suit look very, very basic.
Yes,
So I can't
it's
win.
conflicting. Yeah, you can't win,
So now we're at the second episode.
or nothing happens.
Kind of. Yeah.
Oh, I'll talk about this later.
So they're attacked and they land. They see Castle Lion in the distance. So that's their goal. Um, they return to the council again, like I said,
Yep, showing them.
exact same
It
animation.
makes you want to know how they know how what's happening
You know
in
what?
this galaxy that is far away. They don't bother to help.
They know very quickly what's going on.
Yeah, makes you wonder how.
And boy, does that question come up again. So the space explorers eject themselves from the ship as it crashes. And after they land, they find some natives,
But
and
then
the
proceed to
natives
attack them.
the natives throw spears at them. Now, when I say the natives throw spears at them, you're probably thinking, like Indians or Aztecs or stuff like that.
No,
These are people in modern clothes
these are the people
that
of
come
this.
from a very modern world. Like when they show you clips of this world, it looks like Seattle, and they are throwing spears. They don't have
In a
guns.
desert.
They have spears now. The enemy, they have lasers. They have. No, how come this place hasn't been taken over earlier?
This place was taken over. Like
I
no, I'm
meant,
sorry, not taken over. Like I said, like what's his name, King Zarkon, like captured like most of the population and made them
but I
slaves.
meant earlier.
Oh, they had Voltron.
Voltron and spears. There's
No,
a
I mean,
huge.
they had like it gets explained later on. Like the guy said, we had technology to defend us, just to defend
No,
us.
no, no, no. And I'll explain that then. So to get there, let's go fast. Um, so after being attacked by the people that they're supposed to be protecting, they grab the spears, stop the spears. Man, all the spears sound like this. And listen, This is exactly what it sounds. This is the sound in the cartoon of people throwing spears. Wait, no, that's not it. It just sounds like someone knocking on wood.
Look, they gotta go cheap. I said this before.
How is that the sound a spear makes when you throw it? I thought someone was using a bow and arrow, and maybe the string from the arrow would make that noise, but no.
Maybe it's to make it child friendly. Like, oh, the tips are dull.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. All right. Now that we're over the spears, they end up in a very conveniently foggy swamp. Not swamp. Woods. When something's foggy, I automatically assume it's a swamp. It's either a swamp or Silent Hill. They're in the woods. It's foggy. So the enemies are having a difficult time finding them. And then right next to these woods is Castle Lion, where it's no longer foggy for some reason. Now, the whole place is roaring. I mean, it's just the lion statue,
It
but
finds them worthy.
it sounds like the whole place is roaring.
I think it sort of symbolized like, look, the lion finds you worthy. You're the chosen ones. You know, people that were trained to pilot this robot, according to the show.
And one thing I have to
I don't
mention
know how they were trained to
is
pilot the
the
robot.
structural damage of the castle. When you see the castle, you notice that the middle back has all been scraped away.
They were attacked,
So
man.
the very top should not be able, it shouldn't be able to support itself. The top should have fallen off. I don't understand why the castle is still
Do you
standing.
want me to explain it?
Yes.
That's not the real castle. The real castle is hidden underneath that castle, which comes up later on.
Is that the Japanese explanation or the American
I don't
explanation?
know. That's all. That's the Japan. That's the American explanation. Because I don't know what the Japanese one is. I just looked
All
at
right.
like a few things here and there. But yeah,
They go up the castle stairs. They do it very stiltedly because there are frame issues. They jump frames.
this is not a
It's
result of America. This is a result of the original Japanese footage.
it looks super bad. The castle door opens, they walk inside, it closes behind them. I would say, guys, it's fine. There are huge holes and chunks missing from this castle. We can find another way out. So the castle diplomat shows up. And he's basically a giant exposition device. Because that's what you want. That's what you came to see in
to
Voltron.
to explain to us what they told us at the very beginning of this episode.
They not only explain that to
They go a
us,
bit further. They
they show the exact same footage.
show a little bit more. It shows where they crash.
A little bit more at the end. I'm like, come on. We just saw this. We just saw this at the very end of the last episode. We know this already. But you know, they don't have faith in kids.
Well, remember this is still the Japanese footage. This
Yeah,
is not.
but
This is literally what happened in the Japanese footage, I believe.
they could have easily placed the footage from the last episode and then moved it over here.
I know they could have edited it, but I think they just went straight through. They didn't like do editing for time like that.
To sum up what the diplomat was saying, everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
Our
And then,
it said our planet didn't have war. We only had peace. We built weapons for defense, and apparently that one weapon was Voltron. You don't put your eggs in one basket.
like, it's an entire planet. You can't make one Voltron for every nation. At least.
Mm-mm. You
Can't go
know,
Pacific Rim with
I
that.
bet that's why the Earth Alliance didn't help them, because they're like, "Hey, when you join our alliance, no, we have peace. We have Voltron. We don't need you." It's like, all right then, if that's how it's gonna be. And they get attacked, and they're like, "Can you help us?" You're like, "Oh, you had Voltron. You didn't want our help." Just act super petty.
So the diplomat introduces them to Princess Allura.
Mm-hmm.
and Snarf immediately hits pre-puberty, and that influences his decisions from here on out. Why does Princess Allura look exactly like Peach, though? The world will never know.
Because she has blonde hair and wears a pink dress. I want to know why she's not queen. There's no one else left. She should, by right, she's queen.
You know, I that happens all the time. All the time. And I don't understand it.
There is no question what happened to their parents. They're dead. They tell us they're dead.
The princess is down with their idea of piloting Voltron to save the planet. And so the diplomat dubs the team the Voltron Force.
So
just like that, they're the Voltron Force.
It makes you wonder why. Why these five? There are people living in the hills who could say, "Hey, we need 5 people to pilot Voltron."
You know what? That is something that. Okay, let's just talk about this now. This is gonna be a bit from the last episode.
There's too many questions here.
Which,
too many plot holes.
Since the last episode, not a lot happens. We'll make it go pretty quick. Here's the thing. All right, so they take these space explorers. They go take them down to their secret technology room. All right, they make them Voltron pilots. They give them clothes that magically fit them.
No matter just so happened to magically fit them. Like you look saying spacesuits, one size fits all.
Okay. They when they explained this, Voltron was blasted by the space witch. It broke into 5 pieces, which landed somewhere on the planet. They make it seem like they don't know where the Voltron pieces are.
But they do.
They knew the whole time.
They knew the whole time.
Not only did they know the whole time.
They have ways to get to them. They have tunnels.
They have tunnels. They have made tunnels to each and every single location. So why did they wait until now to get someone to pilot Voltron?
Even more.
Why did they get 5 people when the planet was just being attacked?
Even more. What did they get the technology they were attacked to build these? We see the tunnels in the next episode. The tunnels that go there, the vehicles that take them to these tunnels, that connect them directly into the cockpits of these robots. They had to have been pre-built. That means these lions did not crash in random locations. They crashed in preset locations.
Which would mean that Voltron was always in 5 pieces.
They probably built 5 pieces and put them together, yeah. Because lions can attack individually. They have abilities to attack by themselves. We are questioning and debating an 80s show.
There's no debating, just questioning.
We're questioning an 80s show. And by 80s, I mean it came out in 80s in Japan, and it came out in 80s here. This is double 80s.
So back to the second episode. After these guys get
they got their costumes.
After these guys get suited up and get called the Voltron Force, we immediately go to King Zarkon, who immediately calls them the Voltron Force. How does he know? How does he know exactly what's happening?
It's the reverse of Gundam. The villains know immediately what they're called. While in Gundam, no one knew it was called White Base and Zeon. They just called it the Trojan Horse. It's a trope, so that the villains have something to call them.
So.
And why would he call them the Voltron Force? He doesn't even know they're going there. He doesn't even know they can pilot Voltron. He doesn't even know they have a way of getting to Voltron. But he immediately calls them the Voltron Force. I don't know, man. Probably advertisement shit.
So, Snarf, the military that's after them, like the invasion force that's after the space explorers, aka the now Voltron Force, they're arriving.
Voltron.
But they don't know, like, how far away things are. So Snarf decides to volunteer
to the Drool Empire
to scout, and he does this because he's thinking with his dick.
I want to impress the princess. Look at me go up by myself.
So he runs off.
Why is he wearing a suit? That's what I want to
know. The Voltron suit.
Yeah.
He runs off to be a one-man military force, I guess.
And do
And
what?
because he started thinking with his dick. And you know what? I like it. He's a man who knows what he wants. And even though he has no chance because Keith is the main
Yep.
character.
He's wearing red.
Yeah.
He's wearing red and is gonna pilot the main robot. I mean, come on.
I appreciate Snarf's enthusiasm.
Well, I mean, they all have one trope. That's it. Honk's big, so he likes to eat. Rick is no. Keith is the leader. Lance questions Keith. Sven is there. Sven is Norwegian, and Pidge wants to get his dick wet.
That sounds like our trope. If you, me, and any three of our friends had to pilot a giant robot, I'm pretty sure it'd be something like that.
So we have to pilot as a team. So we're doing Get a Robo.
On to the third episode.
Weren't we already on it? I thought that was it.
We were on the second episode.
I thought third episode was when he said he was going to go out.
He's out in the third episode. He leaves in the second episode. It's because everything ends with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And like I said, it continues.
And then it immediately continues,
after.
right? Yeah.
The king is getting impatient. So he decides to send a robot beast.
Robeast.
Yes, Robeast. They could have just they should have called them cyborgs. I'd be more okay with it if they called them cyborgs.
No.
Anyway. And the commander soldiers are still walking along. Same animation, same sound effects. So now they're so pissed off that they're shooting random snakes. They're wasting their lasers.
They're just shooting.
On
I
random
saw
snakes.
that. Like the ship and stuff are just shooting ground. Like, what are you doing?
Back with everyone else, Snarf aside, they consider getting the keys to Voltron. However, all the keys are locked up in a tomb because the king wanted them buried for some reason because the king might be an idiot. Now,
Might be.
yeah,
The only
this is our only weapon
to save our kingdom. Let's bury it and hide it with me. It's like, dude.
Everything's gonna be okay after I die, bro. So they go into the tomb, and Obi-Wan shows up. Because there's always a Jedi ghost. There's always a Force ghost. The king's Force ghost shows up. And he's like, yes, these guys. I like these guys. I give you permission to open my tomb and steal these keys. Which really makes you wonder what he said to whoever it was that stole the key to the main Voltron unit. Because it's not there.
I'm going to tell you who has it.
Go ahead.
The mice.
The
king tasked the mice, I believe, to protect it or something. Or something. I don't know. All I know is the mice keep it hidden to give it to the people that are worthy. So the worthy people can make Voltron.
Now, you know how stupid that sounds, right?
I want to know how stupid Honk is by saying, "Oh, we don't need all the lions." Keith literally said, 2 form the arms, 2 form the legs, 1 forms the freaking torso.
Okay, listen. Keith is an idiot too. Because immediately after this, the diplomat's like, well, you can't send you out there. We don't have all the pieces. We can't form Voltron. I just said Ultron, y'all. We can't form Voltron. And then Keith's like, but we can't sit here and do nothing. So let's use sticks and stones and spears.
I saw that. Yeah.
Really, Keith?
I remember that. I was like, there, and then when he's saying that is when you see a ship fly by and shoot lasers. And like,
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's gonna work.
How are you the leader? You're gonna get everybody killed.
Because he's wearing red.
I want him to go over there, start throwing stones. and just see what happens.
It's like, oh yeah, the people have already tried that. That didn't work.
And again, it doesn't make much sense. They have to rely on spears and stones and sticks when in this episode they just had a conversation about how they had the most advanced technology in the galaxy. But they just like you said, they put all their eggs in the one basket.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the best part of the show right here. Snarf takes on the entire military regime by himself.
Yep.
Why? For the princess, man.
No weapons.
No weapons. He just goes in there and he does a good job. Uh, you know, but as nice as that moment was, see some actual fighting for a change, and see that
The reason.
this guy can actually defend
All right,
himself.
all right. Let me tell you why Pidge Snarf is good. He's a ninja.
This podcast is over.
No, okay, no. From the Japanese version.
All right.
And then they later use that in the American version. Not in this one,
Yeah.
but later on, like in the sequel series. Not Vehicle Voltron, but the sequel to this series.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So that was nice for him to have this little moment of confidence. But it was the stupid move. Shouldn't have put himself out there like that because they didn't see him at all. And eventually he got overrun. And what did you think? What did you think was going to happen? Did he think he was going to stop everybody by himself? So he calls for backup. And when he calls for backup, Keith is like, "All right, we're done standing here. We've got to fight." And I was gonna call him the chancellor. The diplomat is like, but we shouldn't go out with those robots. I don't know why he's so adamant about them not taking the lions.
Because they need to have all five to form Voltron, because only Voltron matters.
Need to form Voltron.
They do. As you see at the end of this episode.
Yeah, but no one knew that was going to happen. But because Keith was denied the right to use the lions, he goes with the second best idea. We'll go out barehanded. Keith. Keith. Come on, man. Come on. You think four people are gonna stop an entire military force, save your friend? Bare hand. They got lasers and robots and airplanes and spaceships. Keith is that leader he will be the one to go into a mission, get everyone killed, and be the only one to come back alive.
I'll say no, it's
He
all good.
he's Zach Brannigan. That's who he would be. With tactics like this, full of Zach Brannigan. Send wave after wave of our own men. That's my complaint about them getting in the Voltron Lions, the secret cave that they had the whole time and could have used before, and all the Voltron Lions getting out with the same sound effects, even though they all come out of completely different locations. Vastly different locations. One came out of the water. Come on now.
One of them was in an active volcano.
Anyway, back to the Snarf scene. They decide to shoot this mountain down so they can collapse on Snarf. But fortunately, there's a cave system behind where Snarf is standing. There are some people behind him, and they pulled him and saved him at the last minute. Snarf wants to go back out because he sees the lions attack. And he wants to help. But one of the people that saved him just shook his head no, and Snarf stopped. That man should have been the leader. When you can just shake your head and control somebody.
Those people were like, no, don't do it.
Mm-mm.
We hate you, but don't do
Okay.
it.
That's authority right there. He has it. Keith does not. So now we get to the real fight. Because the lions, they take everything down. And King Zarkon sends the Roe Beast. A Roe Beast with massive drill nipples. Just let that soak in. You can't call them monsters, but you can just show drill nipples. Drill nipples are okay. By that logic, the guy in Dead Leaves is child friendly. If you've never seen Dead Leaves, I highly suggest you watch it because it is something else. I can't explain it. I can't. You know what? Next time it's my go around, I'll talk about Dead Leaves. So there's a fight, and it's barely worth mentioning because the lions very easily took down all the other people, even though they basically have no weapons. They just have claws and mouths that barely open. Here, the roe beast one-shots all of the lions. And it one-shots those lions so gently. None of his attacks had any impact. It's the gentliest knockout. It's like if a guy brushed his shoulder and that knocked you out. That is pretty much what happened here. Super disappointing.
The lions are weak. They need to be together and form Voltron.
After that, all the lions are pretty much in a pile, writhing in agony. Well, as much writhing as a robot is capable of. And it goes off. Because like I said, you watch these 3 episodes, they never formed Voltron.
And we're not going to break
That's
our
it.
rules.
No. No.
It's too early.
Watching these 3 episodes, they make you want to watch the 4th episode.
I know. It's like once they get later on Monster of the Week, it's fine. But
No.
this introduction, oh boy.
Now, to go into, have to form an opinion on the series. Alright. There are things I like about the series.
Mhm.
I think most of those things are conceptual. Most of the things are probably just runoffs of the Japanese series. And because what actually happens does not take full advantage of any of the concepts. And that is my overall disappointment. I mean, there's a lot of technical details that I dislike. We talked about the audio and the voice acting, the sound effects are all bad. But if the rest was on point, if the execution of the story was on point, I could forgive that other stuff. But it's not. And also, the fight scene was we got what, 2 fight scenes? Maybe 3. I vaguely remember another fight scene, but maybe there wasn't one. There was the robot one at the end and the Snarf one. That's all I can fully commit to. And one was embarrassingly terrible. It's like I said, it was so gentle. And the Snarf one, that's actually surprising. Like, I like the Snarf fight scene better than the fight scenes in Thundercats. With the exception of the legitimately Snarf fight scene in Thundercats. So, I don't know, you made that connection.
Okay.
As you were saying before, if you're just mindlessly watching the later episodes, because I have seen later episodes, probably not that bad. But this is not a series that I could ever be invested in or anything. This is not a series that I'm like, man, I need to follow. I need to find out what happens on the next episode of Voltron.
As a child, back then, when this type of show is just coming out, it makes more sense.
Yeah, things are always different when you're a kid.
Especially back then, in the 80s, early 80s.
These 3 episodes, and you know what? I'm not even going to rate Voltron as a whole, because like I said, I have seen later episodes. In my opinion, is that if you just want to put something on and waste some time and not get invested, but just watch like a giant robot fight and stuff and see some weird 80s anime animation and design, fine, go ahead. But for this story arc, skip it.
There's
Skip this whole arc.
too many
Cause
rehashes. Like,
listen, let me tell you
go
about this arc.
straight to watch episode
You are
1.
better.
Okay, no, watch episode 1, then watch episode 4. Because you don't need 2 and 3.
You are better off not having an explanation for what happens.
Because you don't need one. They explain it anyway. They'll explain it to you anyway.
Look, Have you seen the opening? That's all you need to know.
That's all you need.
That's all you need to know. So, if you want to watch Voltron, if you're interested, skip this arc. That's my advice. How about you, T. Wells?
This show, I loved it as a child, but I watched the later episodes. I remember watching this beginning episodes and being bored. Watching it now and hearing the voice acting for Sven and Pidge, and it's like, what is this? What
It's so
even
bad.
is this? This is horrible. Why would you think that was a good idea for a child's voice? You had female voice actors on here. You could have had one of them try to do a little kid's voice. Yeah, this beginning arc, this beginning story, it is. It's not good. It's not good.
It's the anti-good.
It's not good. Very not good. Other than that, like, it's a decent show. It's the more popular of the Voltrons, which is why this is the one that got a sequel and why Vehicle Voltron did not, because instead of a team of 5, you have a team of 15. It's like, no. There's too many
There's no
characters.
character
That
development
is
here. There's
too,
not going to be any
and
there.
there's too many characters to follow in that. So that's why I understand why this one makes more sense. Plus, this is more fantasy land area than the other one, which is like Earth.
No. See, this place had a castle. But like I said, we've seen the cities. They look like Earth.
No,
They all look like Seattle.
no,
Yeah.
no, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No,
In these 3 episodes, that's exactly what they look like.
I just saw desert. You literally do not.
So we have a
You
desert.
mostly do not see the cities in the show. If I remember right, you don't see the cities. It's like Seattle. That's because that was before they were destroyed. And are you sure you're not thinking of like Earth? Because
They show both of them. They both look almost the same, except Earth had that council building.
they probably thought they were showing Earth. I mean, they didn't realize what they were showing. Probably, I don't know. But I recommend this show. Whew. If you like to know what people watched in the 80s and liked as kids, go ahead. But be warned, the beginning, and for you youngins, like you want to know people watching the 80s and early 90s, be warned, the beginning is not good. And later on, it's just monster of the week. Like something's happening now, but only now. This doesn't have long running effects until episode 6, in which someone dies. No, I'm sorry. Sorry. He doesn't die in the American version. He gets sent to the hospital planet, and they make like I don't know. I don't know if he comes back. No, he comes. I don't remember if he comes back. I heard he comes back, but I don't know. If you want to know people watching the 80s and liked, take a look at the show. You can skip to episode 6, and then after that you can skip to any other random episode, and you'll be fine. In the series, just take a random look. I know I like Robotech better. That's what I remember.
Hmm. Well, that was our look into
The 80s.
Voltron. And next time on Toonami Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, we will be looking at the real adventures of Johnny Quest.
That show.
Please don't disappoint
No, I don't know, man.
me. Like, at this point, I can't trust anything I liked as a kid.
I remember the animation being pretty good, except for the CG. The CG did not age well.
Oh. So, that's our show. Of course, if you have any comments, put it down below, and if you have any questions or advice, or if you want to talk about Voltron for some reason, hit us up at cartoonkilowatt@gmail.com. Thank you for listening in. Next time we will go back to normal. Actually, next time, you know what? I'll just reveal it because we already recorded half of it, and it was supposed to be out last week.
But technical difficulties occurred.
Next time, in person your school.
Another travesty.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.